Welcome back to another episode. Going on along continuing the series of Where's the Value? Today's topic is focused on finding the value in experience. So, if you remember in a few of the previous talks, value is something that is everywhere. Everywhere. It's not really a conversation that you hear too often, but value exists everywhere. The good deeds that you do within a given day, the work that you actually put into a project, everything has value. And what currency does is it attempts to capture that value or offer something to exchange for value. So value is something that, again, you can think of anything in regards to value. That's why your imagination is so powerful. It can come up with the coolest things to actually create value. And in business, that's what we actually do. We create value. Now, you don't necessarily have to be in business to create value, but I like to talk about it from that context when we talked about the E-Myth the other day, just in regards to the difference between, let's say, a successful career and a successful business. But today I want to talk about finding value and experience. So, the essence of life, the essence of life is experience. The time that you get on this earth, everything that you're taking in is an experience. And there's value in every experience that you have. Now, you may not appreciate the value in every experience that you have, but there is value there. And what you want to understand is where that value actually exists. Now, some things you may not look at as things that you actually want to have to deal with. So, for example, everyone has, let's say, blessings and challenges. The blessings are the things that you love when it happens because it makes you happy. And the challenges are the things that you happen that you would rather not happen because they create, let's say, more work, or it just kind of just pulls you back in some way. It creates friction. So look at the challenges as friction. But you actually need both of those things. The blessings are great when they happen, but if all you receive is blessings, you would never appreciate those blessings because you never maybe had to struggle or actually work for it. So that's necessary. And if anything, anytime you go through a rough patch, just think of that rough patch is preparing you to deal with, let's say, another challenge in the future. Maybe that challenge won't be as difficult for you. So that's really what experience is. You have to take everything and you have to recognize that there is value in everything. So continuing on with that, take everything in and don't miss your opportunities. So all experiences have value. We learn from everything. Something that you need to have an open mind for is actually, well, what is. So an example, I bowled a 299 the other day, which is great, right? I have one 300 under my belt. I was hoping for a second, but I got a 299. So what does that actually mean? Well, I may not have gotten, let's say, what my goal was, but I got that much closer to getting my goal again. And I know that if I continue to have my focus and keep pushing forward, that I can make that a reality whenever I'm actually ready for it, when I'm ready to do it. So that's very comforting, knowing that it's not sort of a one-time thing. I'm going to make a couple runs at it. So that actually makes me feel good. So that's just a small example. If you take, for example, the game of life actually gives you points for experience. So that's actually a kind of neat game, right? There's a few different categories. It'll give you points for, actually, it'll give you money for finishing or retiring first. It'll give you, it'll look at your net worth. It'll add all your experience together, and it'll look at your family and see what value that actually provides. So the experience piece is not something to be missed or be forgotten. Some folks think that it's all about a race just in regards to net worth, and that's not it. The experiences can be much more valuable, especially what you take with you from the experience. So don't forget that. Now, probably the best idea that I actually had when it actually comes to experience is thinking about opportunity costs. I talked about that separately and briefly, but your decisions determine the experiences that you have. I'm going to repeat that because that's super important. The decisions you make determine the experiences that you will have. Those decisions can easily change your trajectory, your speed, timing, so many various different factors. and it all starts with your decision. So arm yourself with making a decision and recognize that if you're not making your decisions, you can't get upset with the result because you got to control what's essentially in your wheelhouse of control. So make sure to make those decisions. Now, the one thing that I was thinking about just in regards to, let's say, the uses of experience, and you might take this from the game of life as well, is time is the currency for experience. So just as you use money to go to the store, let's say to buy groceries or anything like that, time is your currency when it comes to experience. You can only experience something when you actually use your time for it. And the price of whatever that experience is what's called the opportunity cost. And the opportunity cost deals with the decision that you actually make. So you can only make decisions based on the time that you actually have. You can't get more time back. You can regain, let's say, the time that you have available, but you don't get more time back. Once you use it, you lose it. So the decision, again, really, really important. And opportunity cost factoring in with that, you have to consider whatever decisions you actually are making, are they helping you or hurting you? And that's probably a really good mantra to think about with regards to any decision you actually have to make. You want to spend your time wisely to get the results that you're actually looking for. So that's really what it comes down to. It comes down to your decisions. So there's value in every experience that you have, and the decisions you make will, they'll actually determine where you actually end up. So I hope you appreciate this lesson. Man, it just got me thinking more about the experiences that I've had, and I love documenting a lot of the experiences just so that I can actually have them as reminders and come back to it. But I hope to share some more of just the challenges that I've actually had to deal with and just being able to overcome them and what it's actually made me into today. So again, I appreciate you tuning in and can't wait to share another lesson with you. But for today, opportunity cost, and don't overlook the experience because there's value in everything. All right. So until the next lesson, bye.